All right, congratulations. You've done it. You've invested, you got a simulator, you got a launch monitor at home. You're gonna be working on your game. That game is gonna take off and you're gonna shoot the scores you never thought you could shoot before in your life. Or, in this video, we're gonna talk about the 3 reasons why that's not gonna happen no matter what you do with this simulator. Hey everybody, Scott Hogan coming at you. We are going to talk about why this simulator, the 3 things that are going to keep you from shooting lower scores when you have it. So hopefully this will give you a little perspective on what's going on. Again, I've seen so many people buy these simulators, think it's, oh, here we go, we're going to do really, really good things, and then they don't see that improvement out there on the course. We want to talk a little bit about that today in this video. If you want to see the good side of this, we don't want to make you feel like, oh, this was a huge mistake. See this thing, don't go throw it out the window just yet. That's not what we're after. Make sure you click and hit that subscribe button. We got the good side coming too. Don't worry about that. Check that video out. We'll put a link in the description down below too. Make sure you check that out real quick. So, number 1 reason why you're not going to get better when you have this home launch monitor. And that's going to be very simple. That is the lie that you are hitting off of. All right. When we're inside, we got perfect lies. Now, some of you might have those rough mats, things like that, but those sit pretty consistent, I would say. And you really know what you're getting when you put the ball on there. Even if you step on it, you're like, all right, I know this thing's coming out. There's not a whole lot of guesswork when you're using any of these types of mats. When you get outside, you have to hit a golf shot off of rough, fairway. I mean, you could have a different lie in the fairway even. It's just a matter of, can you read the lie and figure out what's going on? So even when you're inside, you might figure out everything. Hey, I curve it this much. I have this much carry, this much rollout. All those things you might figure out. And they go out the window the second you get on the golf course and you got a shot off the ground where you have to figure out what is going on with the lie and heck, even the wind and all the other factors that are going on out there. So that's always a really tough adjustment, something to pay attention to. Number 2, why you're not gonna get any better with a launch monitor. The second reason is the environment that you're in. Okay, and when we're talking about the environment, we're talking about the whole space that you're in, not just, hey, I'm hitting off of this surface, I'm doing this. The whole environment you're in and the world that you're in is very, very important to pay attention to, because when you're hitting off of a mat, you've got a direct line pointing you pretty much at the target. You've also got the target only a few feet away from you. So you have this very clear sense of where you're supposed to hit the ball and how you're supposed to hit it. Now, when you go outside, you get in the world and it is very big, very quick. Hey, I've got to aim the ball and now I'm aiming at a spot way out there. Now you can do some spot aiming and things in front of you, but you have to trust those things and your senses are going to start getting a little overwhelmed by having all of this information that's going on. Hey, there's trees way out there. There's this way out there. When you're in this indoor environment, you only have this little area to focus on around you, and it becomes pretty easy to get aware in how you should swing within that small space to make the best results. When you go outside, very difficult to transition. You have also the lies in the terrain. Like we said before, you have wind, you have other elements to factor in. And for those that have had a simulator or an indoor setup for a while now, indoor swing syndrome, that is a real thing. How you react to your indoor swing setup really does matter for your golf swing, and getting used to that can be a really, really big deal. So something to pay attention to, that whole environment that you're in. And the third reason why this golf simulator isn't going to help your golf game is because your golf game is very visual, and taking the visual representation from a simulator, the ball flight, that tracer, you're doing it in a way that does not translate really well out to the golf course. So let's give you an example. If I hit a shot, let's say we're playing on E6, we have that nice tracer that we love and we see it, but when you go to play, that tracer, what does that mean? Do I aim it here and let the ball fade here? How much is that fade? How much is that curve? What does that height look like? What does that height look like on a low shot? all of those things, how do you translate that into the environment? Now, you can have some of that help with the numbers and saying, all right, that's specifically this height of shot. But when you start taking that into everything else, you want to get out there and try and work on your game and figure out what that tracer means to a real world environment. So taking that visual representation that's on a screen and applying it to what you see for a golf shot, that's a really, really big deal as we go forward and start working on your game. So getting out there, seeing the visual representation, taking that ball flight from screen to the course, really tough to do. Gonna be the number 3 reason why this isn't gonna help you if you're not able to do that. All right, so that is our top 3 reasons why this golf simulator is not going to help you shoot lower scores. Now, the purpose of this video isn't to scare you. That's not my goal. But what it is meant to do is make you aware. Again, having taught in an indoor setting for almost 10 years now and have been playing in an indoor setting, going all the way back. I started when I was a freshman in high school, so I mean, geez, it's getting old, almost 20 years now. It's one of those things that I've seen and I'm used to as you go through it. And these are consistently the things that when you go outside, you can take what you're learning in the simulator, but you have to watch out for these things and be ready for these variables as you play. Again, consistently see this as something we work on even when we get the swing dialed in inside. So we'll go outside and make these our points of focus. So keep that in mind as you're practicing. You're gonna wanna go play and make sure you pay attention to these variables. I think you're gonna see it pay off for you, but again, if you don't, you might not see the results you might have been expecting when you make that investment trying to get your golf game to shoot lower scores. So again, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in and subscribing. Click that subscribe button down below. We've got the good side coming up later today. Make sure you don't miss out on that. Again, not trying to scare you too much, but want to make you aware of how you can get the most bang for your buck with that simulator. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.